Welcome to Inspiring Instinct. I'm E.R. Vogel, and a local poet and fellow overthinker, and today we are going to talk about foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a neat tool to use in storytelling to give hints at what can keep a story alive, what's about to happen, what may happen in the future. Really useful aspect of foreshadowing is how it can control emotions in a storyline. Like it can add suspense or mystery, and that immediately inherits curiosity within the audience. Think about popular concept of Chekhov's gun. Now, if you see a gun at the beginning of a scene, it must be used eventually. The concept of that doesn't mean everything you talk about has to be a gun or a weapon of some kind, but it gives a purpose to everything that the audience sees or hears. It is a fun tool to help build symbol importance because it adds weight to the story if the audience knows that there is a value to what they are actually looking at instead of trying to figure it out themselves, while also not just immediately telling them why this object is important. It can also be used to help with setting description. Like a vase that ties the room together is broken and it can resemble a family breaking apart. It can also be used just to tell the story. It can be a good framing device to start with an idea or an object that makes the audience immediately question what is happening and don't answer it until the very end. And it can also be good for a twist, like the somewhat innocent looking person in a crime story can really end up being the bad guy. Foreshadowing is also very good for the writer themselves to have an ending to their story. You can't start a story really without having some idea how it's going to end. I've tried. It's not a very easy thing to do. So it's a good concept to have in mind to be prepared while you're even creating anything in the first place. It's always good to have a goal set in place at some point. But why should we really use foreshadowing? It's mostly to keep the audience enthralled. You see this in comedy where you can set up a punchline before even the joke comes about, but it keeps the audience wanting more, and if they stick around long enough, they actually get the reward of finding out what is the deal with this thing that we had no idea, the vase that eventually broke. And also, it gives these little Easter eggs that the audience can look out for throughout the whole story. It's another sort of reward, and it can further educate the viewer too, so they don't feel so lost. And the final thing that why we should use foreshadowing is that it makes people want to rewatch or reread a show. If they come back, they'll want to see how you did these little details that they didn't see before, and how you can do that in other pieces of work as well. So, my prompt for you today is don't even think of one yourself. If you do, great. But think of a really good example of a movie or a book or a poem that has a good use of foreshadowing. It brought up a concept, a little hint of what could happen towards the end, and there was some final conclusion by the end of the story. Thank you. See you again next time.